Hey everyone, I'm just hopping on now. Let me know if y'all can hear me. If anyone's chilling, it looks like. Just wait a sec for people to come. Hey! Nice to see some familiar names. Oh my god, the excitement I'm so here for. I'm not even like halfway done with my coffee, but hey everyone. Okay, so I know I usually start by asking you guys like where you guys are from, but because we are doing a travel bucket list, I'm gonna save that for when I want locations. So let's go ahead and start with what's your favorite animal? I personally really like dogs. I feel like that's a little basic, but pit bulls I think are the cutest. Sharks, I know Jack would like that one. Shout out to all the cat lovers. Ooh. This event is not only for the US, if that's what you're asking. Anyone all over the world can come join and learn how to create a travel bucket list map with Gatsby, React, Leaflet, and Graph CMS. Yes, dinosaurs are allowed to be your favorite animal. They do not have to be real. They don't have to still be existing. Like, if it's an animal, it's there. I will even accept half animal centaurs or minotaurs and things like that. Just takes me back to like Percy Jackson days. You know what? Bananas, I mean, like, not sure if it's an animal, but I like the energy. Okay. Chrome Dino, I'm not very good at that game. I get too impatient, so I just want to like jump all the time and then I run into a cactus. Get everyone a little bit. I just like announced it a little bit late. So I think bananas do share a lot of our DNA. I do not have a biology background. I would not trust anything that I say. Okay. I like that you specified baby elephant. Like once it's full grown, it's just not as great. Okay. Looks like we've gotten, we waited a little bit. We've had our announcement. Okay. So today, what we're gonna make, we are going to follow a tutorial. I'll go ahead and share my screen. Share my screen here and go ahead and send you guys the link here. Great. So I tried as much as I could to just make sure that I'm also coming from a clean slate. So all this downloading we'll do together. And I actually love this comparison down here. We really are going to Bob Ross an application, and any mistake, it's just, it's just a happy accident. It's all good. Okay. So I've like looked at this a little bit. I went ahead and sent the link. So if you want, you can either follow along with me. I'll be following along through the text tutorial just so like we can do this together without playing a lot of sound. But if you would personally like to go through the video, there's a 9-minute video here. I just want to make sure like it's as accessible as possible. So we will be going on this journey together. All I know, just so we're on the same page, is that, this is going to be a web app. We are going to use Gatsby, which I believe is very similar to React. I don't know if it's like a framework off of React, but a lot of it like will be step by step, and if You know, if you're lost, I'll try to explain what I know along the way. But the great thing about tutorials is you don't need to know everything. You really don't. You just need to be able to read. You don't need to know React. And then I think this is going to be like a headless CMS thing. So if you want to get into like web development and kind of be able to code a website, but have other people who don't know code be able to edit it, this is like headless CMS is like a really cool thing that I'm trying to get into. So that's why I chose it. But again, I just like you guys don't really know anything. So, you know, it's all good. So let's go over it. What are we going to build? So CMS, for anyone who doesn't know, is, I think, a content management system. So you can think something kind of like WordPress. Okay. Oh, by the way, you guys, this is a daily challenge if I did not specify that. And so at the end, I'm going to go through how to post it on DevPost to get the points. Okay. So it looks like we're going to build like a mapping app. I watched the video just a little bit. I watched the video a little bit. Essentially, like we're just going to be able to have like a map and then put markers on it, and then even like put those destinations down in like a list. It's something really simple. Okay. So we're going to, looks like we're going to use a Gatsby Starter. So Gatsby, what little I've used, has a lot of great templates for starters. And then it looks like we'll be using Graph CMS to kind of manage everything. So a headless CMS, as far as I know, again, very new to the topic, so someone who knows more is willing to share the knowledge. Headless just kind of means that instead of, you know, with WordPress, you, how do I explain it? I like barely understand it. I would just say Google it. That's the developer way. Just Google it. I don't want to spread any false information. Okay. So, looks like we're going to create a new app with the starter leaflet. Okay, so we're going to use this piece of code right here. So I'm going to go ahead and share my whole screen so I have everything side by side. Okay, so here's my VS Code. Here's what I'm going to be using just because I love it. Okay, I will share the tutorial link again. Maybe, I don't know, like the best way to share it otherwise. Okay. Oh, I'll also post it on Discord. So I'm editing my announcement right now. So it's going to have the tutorial link. Now, if you ever lose it, feel free to go on Discord. Okay, so now I'm going to CD into my projects folder. That's just where I like to keep all my coding stuff. And it says to get started, navigate to where you are, where you want to create your new app, and run Gatsby new my travel bucket list. And then I'm just gonna copy and paste this link. And I didn't do that. Okay, so this will probably take a sec to download. You may have to download the Gatsby CLI. I'm just gonna Google it. You're gonna see my thinking process. I think I have NPM. So I have Node Project Manager, Package Manager. So I just, I think for me, it should be there automatically. Just go ahead and Google how to download it. It looks like they've got a few different tutorials for like Windows and things like that. And I will, unable to do dependency trees. I'll make sure it's working a little bit ago. Oh, okay. So it looks like I've already made a folder called my travel bucket list. I'm gonna go ahead and CD that. Here. I'm gonna go ahead and actually I'm just gonna open it here. And then I'm gonna find it here. Okay, so if you don't know how to open a terminal in VS Code, you go up to the top and you go to terminal right here and you just press new terminal. It looks like you can do the caret and a tilde, but I always click to find new terminal. Okay, and so now I'm gonna open the terminal again. So new terminal. Oh, control backtick, nice. I'm learning all of these different like commands to get the terminal, and that's my favorite part about hosting these streams. Okay, so now I went ahead and I CD'd into my folder, and now it's telling me to develop it. So I'm gonna do npm run develop. And now my computer is gonna do some magic stuff. Oop. It looks like, go ahead and npm install. So a lot of how I program is I just kind of run commands, and if there's a problem, my computer will tell me. Oh, looks like having a bit of a problem. Looks like Gatsby may not be installed in my site's node modules. So it is not. You'll probably have to download npm, the command line interface. So I'm gonna do npm install, and I'm gonna go ahead to try to do legacy. So honestly, the longest part about coding is just waiting for everything to install. If you have ever done any sort of web dev, this is the longest part. You just kind of have to sit there. Check-in link. So the way you're going to get points for this through local hack day build is that you are going to submit via dev post. So I will go over how to submit your project via dev post in a bit. But if like for some reason at any point you get ahead, you finish before me or whatever, then you just go to this website, the local, oh, it's me. You go to the local hack day build. You go to these daily challenges. We're doing the second one right here. Follow any tutorial to build something new. You're gonna click day 5 dev post. It's gonna open, well, it's gonna open like the dev post page, and then you kind of work through the process. All right, looks like we're still installing. I feel you on the internet being slow. I'm a college student, so like I have the lowest internet plan, and right now like there's someone else on it, so like my boyfriend's doing like work calls and things like that, and I'm downloading a bunch of things. Not the greatest for the bandwidth. So for the challenge, For the challenge, it can be any tutorial. I'm just gonna do this tutorial and we'll do it together. I personally like using Free Code Camp just because they have a lot of different resources. They have YouTube videos, they have like text walkthroughs, so you can kind of really pick like what you want. You don't have to submit the project with me. Definitely submit it today because it is a daily challenge. But you don't have to do it live if you don't want to. But I'll do it with you. Okay, so it looks like we have a little bit of deprecation, but that's okay. We're gonna still go through it, learn the basic steps. As for how to install Node, I don't know. I just honestly, I Google it. If you have a Mac, Homebrew is pretty good. If you have a Windows, I'm not sure. So this challenge, I think all the detail I can really give you is just what's on the site. It's pretty open-ended. You just pick literally any tutorial to build something, and you are going to build it, and then submit it on dev post and like share like the tutorial link. And if you really like it, then post it in the chat channel and kind of show it off on Discord. Okay. Looks like. If you don't have Node, do that. I believe for the tutorial, it has to be like a new skill. For someone asked if they could do a CV tutorial. Is CV like a resume or CV something else? Okay, well, I'm gonna assume CV is a resume. Updating your resume or LinkedIn is actually another daily challenge that like I highly recommend. Oh, computer vision. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, if there's like a GitHub repo, I think that should be good. Yeah, we were on two completely different paths there. Okay. Okay, so you installed Gatsby CLI. So then you're gonna go ahead and run this command here, and I'll actually paste it in chat. So then after that, I ran npm install, and so now I'm just installing everything. If you get, you'll probably get an error, so I kind of forced it a little bit by doing, let me find the, forced it a little bit by doing this here. So I've literally, like, I've literally just done this line right here, and then I did npm install with the flag legacy pure dependencies. And then now it's still like, it's just installing. I know it's been a sec, but we really have just been installing. Let's see if, I'm gonna give you guys some time. I'm hoping that it's almost over. Okay. Can I zoom into terminal? I think this is the most I can zoom in. Yeah, because then stuff starts getting cut off. So yeah. I can try figure it like that, but otherwise I can't zoom in much more. So like that's just giving that flag right here, as far as I know, is just kind of forcing it to install, even though some dependencies might be deprecated. Okay. You know what? Like Googling things is a very good skill. Chances are, if you guys ask me like a random question, I tend to just Google it. It's usually the way to go. So we're all just downloading stuff together. And I'm gonna kind of read ahead in the tutorial for anyone who like might be, further than me. So what we're gonna do next is we're just gonna go ahead and clean up some demo code, remove everything, like just open the file, remove everything that we don't need, clean up anything. Oh, looks like finally done installing. So I'm gonna go ahead and do npm run develop. It's opening, it's validating. We get in here. I'd love to see that green text. I can resend the tutorial link. And try it. Yeah, that's the link. So if you guys ever decide to get into like web development, yeah, I think the longest part about coding is, like you have the actual code where you're typing a bunch of stuff, but just the installing your packages and getting everything set up, it's painstakingly long. Okay, so it says now I can view Gatsby Starter leaflet in my browser. So I'm gonna go ahead, copy that link, paste it here just to check out like what's going on. Okay, I'm gonna allow it to see my location. It's not gonna see my location so far, and that's okay. Okay, so looks like it's saying hello. That's real cute. So it says we're still getting started. So you should, if you got it running, you should be around here. Okay. What do you mean by broken? There are, you may have to run that, like if you got like these errors, we can kind of skip that by doing this right here. So if you're having trouble with that, if you're getting any errors, then go here. Okay, I'm gonna try to repeat the steps as best as I can. So after, yeah, just ignore, we're just gonna ignore the warnings for now. This isn't like a perfect tutorial, but we are gonna like kind of learn something. These commands will take a while. If you notice, we're about 20 minutes in, and I just finished the commands. So now, after you have after you have Node downloaded, after you have Gatsby downloaded, we're gonna go ahead and run this line right here. Okay, so this line, do I have? Looks like it's too far up, but you'll run that line, and it's gonna take a sec because it's it's making a new folder called My Travel Bucket List. You might get an error with that, but it still downloads, and then you just want to CD into this folder, the My Travel Bucket List. That's what the directory is now called. Okay, so then at that point, what I did is I did npm install legacy peer dependencies, or depends. You just could do that, so that way you can get through the warning. If you're getting a Gatsby command not found error, then like make sure that you're downloading Gatsby, which you have to download Node and then Gatsby. Then, now after that, I went ahead and CD'd, and I personally use npm instead of yarn, but either one can choose. You can just do, I just did npm run develop. Okay. So that the installation will take like the installation will take some time when you do that below step. That's in between these two personally. So like it'll take a sec. It'll be okay. Just kind of walk through it. It's a pretty like relatively short commercial, short tutorial. And then you can say, so it says you can now view your Gatsby Starter leaf in the browser. And then we're just going to go to our local 8000 pool. So after installing, should we create a folder? So you won't need to create a folder because it automatically creates a folder for you called My Travel Bucket List, okay? And so like you'll see the My Travel Bucket List right here, and it has all the files needed. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and clean our demo code. So we're gonna go to source pages index.js. So source pages index.js. I'm going to bring down my terminal and hide my Explorer so you guys can see this a little bit better. So now what is it saying? So let's go ahead and go to the map effect function. I'm just going to search it up. Searching is just Command or Control F. Let's go to map effect. And it says you can get rid of, I'm just going to remove everything inside map effect except for the first line, set up an alias. So map effect. I think that's the only one. I'm just going to go ahead and do, so we're going to remove that. So we're going to do leaflet element, or let me just, I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste that. And bring it here. Okay. And then with that gone, we can remove the, okay, we can go ahead and remove use ref up at the top, the index page. Then we can remove marker ref from our marker component. Okay. Oh. We're going to remove the marker. Removing the marker ref. Okay. Okay, so what we're doing here is now we're just on clean some of our demo code. So go ahead and go to your source pages index.js, and we're just going to follow this right here. So I'm just going to Control F to map effect. There's a function right here. I'm going ahead to just replace the function that was there, and I'm just placing it with this here. Okay, and then it says we can remove the marker definition from the top of the index page component. So this, I went ahead, I'm gonna go ahead and remove it. I'm just making sure that it's like the same as this. So like this tutorial was back in June, which was about like half a year ago. So if it's like changed a little bit, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it like this. Okay. We installed, so here, let me go ahead and send this link again. Hopefully you can catch up, but we're just installing, we just installed Node, Gatsby, and now we download this template. Okay, and so now we're gonna go to the marker component, went ahead and got rid of marker ref, and then get rid of this import here. Okay. And then make sure that you get away from here because it's no longer referenced. Let's see, map effect. Okay, actually, let's go ahead and it's maybe a little bit different. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and we'll keep that first line. We'll say if no map, just go ahead and return. Okay. That's the only thing that I'm changing. I'm just adding this line. And then go ahead and use those things, and then get rid of marker ref and marker ref here. Okay, scroll down. It's looking like identifier map has already been declared. Okay. Yeah, so even though like this first line uses use map, we're gonna go ahead and just give it here. So this is something that I think is like missing a little bit from the tutorial. Leaflet element, we're gonna go ahead and make it use map. And go ahead and get rid of that here. Okay, so to summarize what I did, yeah, because there's a lot. What I did was I made this. I just made it say, if not map, return, okay? So if no map is taken in, just return it, end the function. And here is where we're putting that in, okay? So like, yeah. And then, so then down here with the marker, I got rid of use ref, and then I replaced leaflet element, and I made it, or actually map, and I made it use map. So that way it's feeding in here, and if there's no map, it's gonna go ahead and return. And then up at the top, there is a use ref here. I went ahead and deleted it. And then I believe there's something right after this. I deleted the marker ref definition at the top of the next page. Yes. I'll give you guys a second to look at it. Sorry, there's like a lot and it's all over the place. So a lot of this first part is just gonna be like cleaning up the code. Yeah. So this part up here no longer has the use ref. Okay, so that's no longer an import. Leave it there for a sec. The way I've been doing this was just like, I just commanded F and then I like went to like look through it. Okay, and then next we scroll down. There's map effect here. I redid the function so it looks like this. Index page is actually right underneath it, right here. Okay. And before that had I think marker ref equals use ref. Went ahead and deleted that. Okay. And then down here we went and changed it so it would look like this. Okay. So then now we're going to go ahead and remove all the variables that start with pop-up and time. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just, I'm going to do Control F, and I'm just going to find time to zoom. All the looks like line 23 to 38. Just check in. We're deleting. Actually, line 21 to 38, we're just deleting, okay? And then it says we can remove these imports up at the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the Gatsby Astronaut. I'll go ahead and send the free code camp link over again. Okay, so I got rid of the astronaut. I'm getting rid of this lib map, the promise to fly to. I'm also gonna get rid of this leaflet right here. Okay, at this point, it should be like live rebuilding, and make sure that you are getting a success. So then I'm gonna go ahead and go back here. Oop. Use leaflet content. Go ahead and refresh. Looks like. Okay, it looks like we're running into a little bit of a bug. Use leaflet context can only be used as a descendant of map container. So let's figure out why this might be it. Okay, so now I'm also going to go on the video for kind of like a reference. Yeah, sometimes we run into bugs. That's okay. That's the best way to learn. So I'm gonna go ahead and full screen his video, see where we are at. So for him, gone here, looking at his code, has all of that. Oh, it looks like his is a little bit different, where this async function is actually inside index page. How can we restart if it went wrong? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna see like what he has and then see how we can make it as similar. So looks like he has this stuff here. It's just his function is actually inside index page. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. Okay, I went ahead and copied that. We're saying if not map, return. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this here. Okay, and so now if I look later, now if I look later in his code, he actually does not have this. Okay. This project is not from scratch. It is following a tutorial. Okay. Sometimes it's okay. We try something new, see how it works. Okay, so now we should be here. It's not necessarily the prettiest, but it's a map with a page and it's not broken. And that's what we're here for. Okay. Now, go back to the tutorial link. Present as a commit. Yes, if you want to follow along with that, you can. Feel free. Okay, so now we'll have a basic app, and then you can say just follow along with the commit. So like Silent Dreamer just mentioned, here's this link right here. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and create a CMS account, and we're just gonna go ahead and use the free tier. I will be hiding my screen for this part of it, just so I can sign up. So we're going to be doing this together. We're signing up for Graph CMS now. Just follow along with the tutorial. I'm just signing up with GitHub because that's how I like to keep all my coding things together. Project repo is a link on it's a link on the tutorial page. If you scroll down past the step, it'll say follow along with the commit. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share the page again because I just signed up and everything. Okay, so it looks like we want to create a new Graph CMS project. So we're going to create one manually. So at the dashboard, create new project. I'm going to keep in mind, we're going to call it My Travel Bucket List and just describe it. So we'll go for that. Okay, so from scratch, travel bucket list, all the places I want to go someday. Someday, one word, 2 words, not sure. Oh, you want to see the local host page? This is what the local host page looks like. Should be just kind of a normal map. It just kind of cuts off a little bit because it doesn't zoom in. So yeah, but you should be able to have the whole map here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and go back to Graph CMS. You can kind of choose like a region where your content will be located. You want one with the least milliseconds. I do not have a GitHub repo link. I'm doing this with y'all. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create project. Actually, that's a good idea. I'm going to start my commits, but I probably won't push them yet. So I'm just going to do a quick git init, cool, git add, and then say cleaned up template code. Okay, we're just going to do the free forever plan because we're not trying to pay here, and then just invite later. Okay, so now we're here. Gone ahead and we've done free. So now at this point, you should have been able to select the personal plan for Graph CMS, and you'll kind of hit this page. Okay, so it says a content model refers to a specific type of data that has specific properties associated with it. In our case, our model will be a destination, which will be defined by a name and a location. Sounds perfect. So we're going to navigate to the schema section of Graph CMS in the left sidebar and select Create Model. So this icon is a schema, and we're going to create a model. Okay. Go ahead. Let me know if you guys aren't getting to this page. We can get to it together. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and read the next steps too. Okay. So once selected, you'll see a pop-up that asks for a little bit more information. So we'll put destination as a display name, as well as the API keys. With the plural one, we'll just say S. We don't have to put a description, so that's okay. And then we'll just go ahead and create. So now we're here, destination. I've auto-filled everything. I don't really want to put a description. You can if you want, but it's optional. And we're just going to go ahead and create the model. Okay, so while that's creating, I'm going to go ahead and read the next steps. So now that we have our model, we'll need some properties. So we're going to go ahead and have a single line text with a display name of name. And then we'll just create it. Okay, so we'll go back. Oop, still creating. Let's see if I can zoom in this. Does that help? I think that's the most I can zoom in. There we go. All right. So it's just creating. Okay, so just to kind of look ahead, we're going to add a single line text field called name, and then we're also going to add a map field called location. Okay, and then we'll have a content model. Wait, what are those like little emoticons with the blue hair? Girl, I feel like I do not know Twitch culture. One day I will learn, and today may not be that day. Okay, is this taking this long for anyone else, or is my computer just weirdly slow? Has anyone created their model? Oh, okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and refresh because there might be just something slow with mine. Oh, it looks like it's created. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and do the single line text, and this is where I'm gonna put the name. Okay, that's it. We're gonna go create that. I'm wondering if it's telling me that's still creating even though it's already created, just because like my laptop just isn't having it with me. I'm gonna go refresh, see if that either messed it up or made it work. It made it work. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're going to find map here and click that. And that should just be called, let me check, make sure we're consistent. It's just gonna be called location. I'm doing it in lowercase because I like the look, but you can put the uppercase letter. Okay. So it's creating, I'm gonna give it a couple seconds to create, but probably come back and refresh it because it, for some reason, is being a little funky. Okay, so we should have a content model that looks like this. I'm gonna go ahead and refresh. Okay, close that. So you should be seeing something like this. My monitor, I think, is a 23 inches. Again, my whole work setup is just some like work equipment that I got from my internship that they let us keep because they didn't care for us to ship it back. I'm very grateful though, because not having a second monitor, I don't know how I live without it. Okay, so now we're doing like a little bit less coding, more just like CMS. We're going to create a location. So now is the time that I want you guys to pop what city you guys are from, if you feel comfortable doing that. And then so we can pop where your city is from, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the destinations. Okay. And so we're going to create new, okay. So we get here by going to content in the dashboard. Content's this like pencil looking one. And then we're going to select destination. That should already be selected because it's the only thing. We're gonna go ahead and just check in, create a new one. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, try to do this in order. Los Angeles, little LA, Los Angeles, CA. Okay, I'm gonna save that. I'm just gonna go ahead and save right now, and I'll just kind of publish them all. Oh, edit this. Okay, guess I gotta publish. Take a sec. It's published, so I'm gonna go ahead and go back, make a new one. Headless Isle of Man. Oh, that's a cute little island. Isle, I guess. I'm not 100% sure what an isle is. I live like on a peninsula. That's all I know. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and save and publish that one. go back, and I'm just gonna add one more because otherwise I could be here all day. So the next one is, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I feel like this would be a cool name to say. Okay, so, oh, right next to New Delhi. India. Okay, save and publish that. So now I have, what, should have 3 destinations. Okay. Oh, it's crazy. 33 miles wide and 33 miles tall and 13 miles wide. I'll drive 13 miles to go to my favorite secondhand shop. That's crazy. America really do just be big. Okay, so now we have about 3, whichever ones. Go ahead and like choose from the chat or things that you actually want to go to. Okay, so now we're gonna kind of go back to Gatsby. So So step 3, we're going to query our GraphCMS location data with Gatsby and GraphQL. So we're gonna add a new plugin. So so I'm gonna do npm install Gatsby source GraphQL. And then while that's installing, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the Gatsby config file down here. And Gatsby config file down here, I'm gonna add this. So this says, I'm gonna just copy this. And then I'm just going to put it right there. Do need the API endpoint, so we're gonna go ahead and find that. Open back up your browser, head over to the GraphCMS project. After selecting settings in the left navigation, select API access. Okay, you can do whatever cities you want to. Don't feel limited by what I have. Honestly, this is your own. You can add more to it. And like, I think this would be kind of cute to like host on your GitHub and kind of mark off like what places you have been to. Okay, so we're going to go to settings, switch to is this settings? Settings is this down here. And then we are going to, now that we're at settings, we're going to go click API access, and then pretty sure we just click we're gonna head and just do this. I'm just gonna paste this URL here. Okay, so, oh, we need to I did that a little prematurely. So before we copy the endpoint, we need to update the permissions so we can query our API. So you can say public API permissions, content. We want to check the box content from stage published. Okay, so content from save published, go ahead and save that. Okay, and then go ahead. And now I'm going to copy this. So this should be, looks like pretty much the same. Okay, so that's what this should look like. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and save it. Make sure you're saving your files. My VS Code auto saves, so if you don't see me like frantically doing Control S, that's why, but make sure that you are saving. Okay. So if you want to make it auto save, I think it's just like a file and you just do auto save up here. Honestly, lifesaver, love it. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and start querying our database. So we're gonna go to the hooks folder, and we're gonna go to that index.js. Okay. So now we're in the source hooks index.js. Okay. So now we're just gonna take this line, following list. I'm gonna paste it in the comments too, because I know you guys like URLs. I'm gonna go ahead and paste it right there. Did I paste it? Nope. I pressed Control B instead. Okay, so I paste it. So and then now we need to make this file. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm going to right-click hooks, click new file. I'm going to call it usedestinations.js. Okay, and then I'm going to take this code, go ahead, and just put it over there. Yeah, and if you guys ever want to take a break, just keep in mind we are following the tutorial. We're going to follow the tutorial, and we'll also be wrapping up in like less than like 30 minutes too. But yeah, always make sure you're taking care of yourself. So make sure you're drinking, you're eating food, like all of that. No code is more important than your health. Okay. So if you want to like refresh kind of what we're doing, we're just importing GraphQL and use static query. We're using the use static query helps us like, it asks GraphCMS to return like any data structures that we've defined. And then we kind of destructure destinations to make it a new object. And so now we can use it anywhere. So now we're going to go ahead and go to sources. Yeah, no, wrong index. We're going to go to the one in pages. We're going to go to the index in pages. And now we're going to go ahead and import. So we will just do the imports up at the top. And I'm just going to do use destinations, maybe from our hooks. Okay. And now on top of the index page, we're going to go ahead and query our data. So we're going to do const destinations, use destinations. Go ahead and make sure everything's doing okay. Oh, cannot query field GCMS on type query. So again, bugs, they're okay. We'll figure them out. Okay, let's see if maybe what happens if we get rid of these. Okay, let me see if there's, so now we're running into another bug, so I'm gonna go back to the video to see if there's anything different that might have changed in the last 6 months. Okay. So again, this is why I love Free Code Camp, because they have not only text tutorials, but video tutorials too. Okay. I'm just skipping ahead. Okay. Okay, so he went ahead and he did that. Just want to make sure everything syncs up. So we have type name, capital GCMS, lowercase, and then we have our API endpoint there, that URL. Okay. So then we went ahead and we went to hooks. And I'll just go ahead and I'll put it second one because, you know, why not just keep it very consistent. We're just kind of going over how to query. So there's a little bug, we're gonna try to fix that. Okay, so now we go to, let's go back to use destinations.js, make sure everything's the same. Const GCMS equals that, use static query, GraphQL, query, GCMS, destinations, ID, name, location, latitude, longitude. It looks like everything's pretty much the same, but still giving us that error. So you know what we do when there's a bug? We go ahead and we Google it. Okay, so right now, like, there's going to be it's going to be an error, but we can kind of look into it. I'm also going to try restarting my server, just because sometimes like that's an error, like I just didn't update things. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and try that out. Let me go back to the tutorial. So now we are at step 3, and specifically on step 3, we are querying our locations via GraphQL. Okay, and then specifically, we have gotten to this place right here. Okay, but now I'm rebuilding to make sure that everything is up to date as possible, because sometimes, you know, like if you add something new to the server, you just kind of have to refresh it. Okay. So now let's go back. Let's go back to these pages. And so right under this, just to kind of check everything out, make sure everything's looking okay, we're going to just print destinations. Okay. Then I'm going to go back here, rebuild. I'm going to go ahead and open the inspection. So it's either press F12 or you can like right click and press inspect. Okay, so I'm going to go to the console to make sure that something's printing. It looks like destinations is printing. We have 3 values right here, and look, it's LA, Douglas, and if someone wants to type that pronunciation, I would love to try it. I just don't want to, like, I really don't want to pronounce it wrong. Okay, for this person just like popped in, what are we coding? We are doing a bucket list web app, bucket list travel web app. Okay, so now we know like we're querying the database correctly. Okay, so now we can start creating this and adding it to the map. So we're gonna go ahead and go inside index page and above still getting started. So this should be around line 48 for you. We're gonna go ahead and kind of replace this. I'm gonna say my destinations. Go ahead and delete this too. We're gonna make an unordered list, if you guys know some HTML, and we're going to loop through it. So we're gonna use the map function. So destinations, not map. We're gonna say destination and Q. Then we're just going to pull the ID and name from the destination. And then we're gonna return a list item with the key, that's the ID, because you wanna make sure if you like have a for loop, then you wanna make sure that it's their IDs are unique, or the keys are unique. And we're just gonna go ahead and put the name there. If you have line 55, okay, let's see what we've done. So we've deleted unnecessary imports here, which might have been it. Deleting unnecessary imports like won't give you like an error. It's just like not currently used. Okay. So yeah. So you can do like delete unnecessary imports. We moved map effect down here inside index page instead of outside, I think. Oh, and then we also deleted the, what was it? Deleted the map effect component up here. Okay, so now if we go ahead and look, let's go ahead and refresh. You're gonna see that, now we have our destinations, our 3 destinations. They're not on the map, but they're on our web page, which I think is pretty darn nifty. All right, so now you should be getting this page here. Okay. So now we're gonna go back to the tutorial. It's not very cute, so we're gonna go ahead and make it cute with some CSS. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead to go to source. We're going to go to assets. We're gonna go to style sheets, pages, and then we're gonna go to the home one. And then inside home-start, so I'm just control finding that. I'm going to give unordered list a list style of none, padding 0, and then margin 102 EM 0. And this is just making it pretty. We're not here to necessarily learn CSS, so if you don't know it, might be good to refresh, but all you need to know right now is this should make it a little more prettier. Okay, so go here. We'll go here. And now you see like we don't have that weird bullet all the way over here, and it looks a little bit better. As for check-in link, the way you'll be getting points is by submitting this via dev post. Okay, now we're back to the tutorial. So now the last thing that we have to do is add the destinations to the map. So the way we're gonna go ahead and do that is we're gonna go back to so many tabs open, I'm gonna start closing them. We're gonna go back to this index.js inside the pages. I did delete the still getting started bit. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. If you leave it in, it doesn't hurt, but I think it looks a little bit cleaner. Okay, so now inside of our map component, we already have one marker. So this marker, like the position is in the center. Yeah, which is, oh, that's so cool. That's in my state. Crazy. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and go to map, and we're gonna do that same thing that you want here, or that you did here with the mapping, except we're gonna do this for the marker and the coordinates. So yeah, I think that is a wonderful idea. That's a great way to kind of expand on this project. And it wouldn't be, like once you get this set up, it wouldn't be too hard to add locations because you're doing that all through the CMS. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and go to map. And we're just going to, I'm gonna be a little lazy, and I'm just gonna go ahead and copy and paste. I'm just tabbing it so it looks a little bit better. It's not necessarily necessary for syntax, but it's like just better readability. Okay, so now it's rebuilt. Again, I do have autosave, so whenever I change something, it automatically saves. If you don't, save, and you should be able to rebuild. Now let's see what happens. It looks like we have a few more maps. I think I do use Prettier, but for some reason it doesn't auto format, and I've been too lazy to figure out why it's not working. But yeah, okay. And so now we have like the basic part up, but let's look at the map. Say I have no idea where LA is. Is LA this one? Is LA that one? I don't know. And there's no way to find out. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of add some labels to it. You know what, Silent Dreamer, that editor auto format on save, I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and make sure we're importing pop-up. Pop-up is gonna give us that label. So we're going to scroll up here. I'm gonna go ahead and replace use map because we don't need it right now. Actually, I'll leave use map. I'm going to add pop-up. Okay, so now with pop-up, we're gonna go back here, and instead of making marker a self-closing tag, we're gonna go ahead and put some parentheses around it, first of all. And then we're gonna get rid of this. We're going to put a closing tag here, and we're going to add a pop-up, and then say name. Okay, so just to kind of give you guys some React background, this is very similar to kind of just like plain web development with HTML, CSS, where like these are the elements that we've predefined. And then whenever you have something in curly brackets, that's saying like, oh, this is JavaScript code. So we're going to find the name variable defined in the JavaScript code above. Okay, so now let's go ahead and refresh. And then if we click this, now I know where LA is. Okay? So you should be able to click it and have the little pop-ups here. Shift-Alt-A. Oh, that just popped up a comment for me. Okay. Okay, so now we can kind of just like center the map. So before we centered on DC, again, that's like, I grew up going to like field trips to DC. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and just update that location variable that decides where our center is. So go ahead and we'll just put 0 and 0. And now if we refresh, now we're centered at the middle. Okay. So again, like if you guys want to go a little bit further, we can check out this. If you want to learn more about like maps, you can. And if you want to engage more with the person who made this, I honestly love tutorials on free Code Camp. And it looks like we have about 20 more minutes. So does anyone want to, I'm gonna go ahead and post in the Discord. We're posting in the Discord. Okay, so I just posted it in LHD build chat to like this message if you'd like to join the stream. And I'd love to show off as many as we can in the time given. So if you aren't in the Discord, here is a Discord invite link. Yeah, here's what mine is. I'd love to hear where you want to travel to. If you join the stream, I'd love to hear where you want to travel to, and like what was the coolest part about this tutorial, and what was the hardest part, because let's not pretend this wasn't a little rough. If you want to run the app, the instructions for that in the tutorial is all the way at the beginning. You're just going to do npm run develop. And then that should give you, it should be like, here are a couple links that you can use. You're just going to go ahead and go to your local host, 8000 port. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and check back on Discord. You know what, I just realized I cannot open it if you like. So actually just go ahead and message, and then I'll go ahead and for the first couple, I'll just send them a link. Bonus points if you have not been on stream yet. If you have not been on stream yet, I want to kind of invite you guys, show you what it's like to be up here. Okay, pulling this up on my phone. I'm not ignoring you guys, I promise. Okay. Does anyone new want to hop on stream? Anyone else? You just have to share. You'll just share whatever. I'd love to hear what your favorite part was, what your toughest part was, and then where you want to go. I'd love to see your map. Okay, go ahead and okay. Oh, and while we're waiting for the first person to join our stream, I'll go ahead and show you how to submit via dev post. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to going to commit this. So whatever completed tutorial. I do not have a GitHub repo for this set up right now, but the way you're going to go ahead and submit is you're going to go to local hackday.mlh.io and then /build. And then, so here, we're going to go ahead and go to follow any tutorial to build something new. And we're going to show it off on day 5 dev post. So we're going to go click here. And it should send us to this page right here. We're going to go ahead and create a project. So, of course, some CAPTCHA, I think that's right. Verify you're a person. My product name is going to be Travel Bucket List. Make your elevator pitch whatever you want. I'm just going to leave it kind of empty just to show you the process. We're going to save and continue. We're going to talk a little bit about the project. I'm going to leave that mostly blank. And then, sorry, I'm trying to get people to join the stream. And then you're going to say this is built with Gatsby. You say Gatsby and then Graph CMS. And then go ahead and put the GitHub repo here. You can't like put the demo site because it is local. You can go ahead and post some screenshots. And if you want to do a video demo, you can go ahead and save and continue. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to get 2 people at least, hopefully. So, where I interned at Microsoft. It was actually, I mean, it's not like they didn't care. I think it was just like a really nice like gift because we were virtual and not actually on campus. So I'm very like appreciative of my organization. It wasn't the whole company that did that. So it's really nice. Okay. Then we're gonna go ahead and it looks like someone's joining our stream. Let's say hi to Adam.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you
hear him? Because I don't know if...
Can you hear me?
Oh, I just realized my... Yeah, okay, I can hear him.
Hello? Oh. Sorry about the pretty rubbish webcam.
It's all good. If you want to share your screen, we'd love to see your map.
Yep. Coming right up. I always get confused because my screen 1 on StreamYard is my right screen and my screen 2 is my left screen.
Yeah. Okay.
You got that?
Wait, how do I? I'm going to go ahead and pop out of the stream and let you kind of take control. I'm going to add your screen and feel free to share where you want to visit, what was your favorite part about this tutorial, and what was the hardest part. Okay. Feel free.
Oh, you're disappearing. The hardest part was getting it all working because it's a bit difficult. What happened to my webcam? Basically, all I have is a USB microscope, so I'm having to use that as a webcam. Some of the locations I want to visit, I put my own one in because, you know, it's the best. I want to go to New York. I went there in 2019 and it was amazing and I want to go again. LA, I want to go to California because I was supposed to go there last year, but it never happened, unfortunately. So this is a bit tilted, so I'm trying to fix it. There we go. That's as good as you're going to get. And then the middle one, yeah, wherever Mara comes from. Don't know where that is, so just somewhere in the US. And then all the way down here, New Zealand, I have a good few friends from down there who I haven't seen in almost 3 years. So it would be nice to see them again. So yeah, that's my code. It's also on GitHub now. I managed to get that to work. So it's one good thing I've learned over the week is how to use GitHub and how to use StreamYard. So yeah.
Was there anything particular that was like, what was the hardest part about the tutorial? I know we had a lot of downloading and a couple bugs.
The easiest part was probably the downloading, but am I human or a simulation? I'll leave that up to you, Stark Kazard. So yeah, the hardest part was probably like deleting the stuff because they didn't really make it clear on the tutorial what to delete. And the easiest part was copy pasting and downloading stuff.
Yeah, I think the tutorial was a little bit different. I think some of the code has from the template changed since the tutorial came out. I think that's the hardest part about coding. When you're trying to follow a tutorial, it has to be within like the past month or two, or it's fair game to be completely different. Okay. Well, thank you for coming on the stream and showing off your map and your code and like.
I hope you liked this one.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty close. I am in the U.S., so kind of got it. But other than that, yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me again.
Of course. I want to see if we can get one more person on the stream before we end because we're going to wrap up in like the next 10 minutes. Other than that, thank you for joining. Everyone, don't forget to say thank you to Adam.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All that's in the chat, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So going to try if you if you are interested in joining, go ahead and post in the Discord. If you are like a little if you are a little confused or maybe it's not working all the way, like that's okay. Go ahead and you can come join and show like what you have so far. And you should like you can still say where you want to go visit, what was the hardest part, and what was your favorite part. Okay. And have one more person join. Okay. I'm loving the Google searches. That's some A+ sleuthing there. Okay. So, yeah, I think where I would want to visit, I kind of want to travel all over Asia a little bit more. I studied abroad in Shanghai, China. So that was really fun. I got to, while I was there, I visited a few more cities in China. And then I also got a trip to Japan to go to like DevCon. It's like a cryptocurrency conference. I still like know nothing about cryptocurrency. And then I also went to Korea with my friends. Okay, let's go ahead and say hi to our next guest. Hi.
Hi.
You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah. This is Amadea and I'm from India. It's current time is now around 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It's the enthusiasm to learn that fuels my interest. Yeah. Okay. Can you see my screen?
I think you have to go ahead and press share screen down at the bottom, and then I can go ahead and add it to the stream. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. How many people have been to China? It's such like a big country. I have family in Chengdu and Beijing. But yeah, I studied abroad mostly in Shanghai at Fudan University, and then traveled kind of down there, down Southeast China, and then actually like had like an internship in Shenzhen. Okay, let's go ahead and add this to the stream. So whenever you're ready to show off your map.
Yeah, I just Actually, I got an error, but thank you for helping me.
Yeah. So I know like it was kind of hard to get it set up, but the great thing about tutorials, you can always go back to it. So
Yeah,
if you want to share where you want to travel, what was the hardest part, and what was your favorite part? And I'll go ahead.
yeah. And there are the two main places I want to visit. The first thing is the Himalayas, it's in the north of India. Uh, and the second is Japan. The main two places I added to my bucket list. And that's it. And the hardest part for me was actually I'm new to VS Code and all this stuff, coding stuff. Actually, I'm from electronics background, but still I love coding. So the thing was install VS Code and the terminal thing. I don't know much, but the guys in the chat, Adam and others, helped me. At last, it's something I learned from this one. It was using VS Code and the setting up the map. After this tutorial, this stream, and I will do it again to get some kind of confidence and all of stuff.
Yeah, that's great. It looks like a lot of people agree with you about visiting Japan. Japan, I definitely want to go back. I want to go see Tokyo and Disneyland there. But it's really cool that you come from like an electronics background. I think I tried that once and it all went over my head for me. So nice job on like doing both. That's amazing. And it's great that you can go ahead and go back over it.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's say thank you for joining. And I'm excited to see your map in the dev post submissions.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and just wrap up. If you guys haven't submitted on DevPost, make sure you do, because that is how you're gonna get the local hack day, daily challenge points, make your guild proud and everything. And it's also just kind of cool to like show off a project, and you can really make it your own to the point where like if you want to put it on your resume, you know, make it a little fancy. They don't need to know that you followed the tutorial. Just give one demo of what I've done so far. Okay, just to like wrap it up, I'll go ahead and share my screen a little bit. This is mine. I use destinations from y'all in the chat. And so I use destinations from y'all in the chat. So I put LA, Douglas. I'm going to look up how to say this, and I will know how to say it by this afternoon. All right, but I went ahead and just added markers. So just to sum up how we did this, we downloaded Gatsby template, and we edited this page, the index page, a little bit to map through the destinations to return list items and markers. These markers also have pop-ups to say their names, and then if you're wondering where we got destinations from, we got it from Graph CMS over here, and you'll see that we have a destination that has the name and location. So yeah. Also, shout out to the person who said I look a lot like Rick Astley. I've never heard that before, and I think that would be a good icebreaker from now on. But yeah, so other than that, thank you so much. If you want to join me on stream again, I will. Oh, that makes more sense. I was like, I don't know how I look like Rick Astley. Okay, but if you want to join me on stream again, and you know the basics of Python, I will be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern doing Intro to Python Part 2, and then 1 p.m. Eastern doing Intro to Python Part 3, where we kind of go over how to make a Twitter chatbot. Okay. Other than that, thank you so much for joining. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to seeing you guys later. Okay. Bye, y'all.